Hello everybody, it's VG Time, bringing you some gameplay of the Towa deck I profiled just recently on the channel. If you want to see that deck profile, I have a link in the description. So here we are, we're starting off going second. We swing with the Towa, make a token. And what I like about this deck is this card Salsa right here, which allows you to sculpt good hands when you're going second. He swings, he top fives for a Demon God, Android, or the Unison. I grab my Demon God, which is at Demagra, and I pass it over to my opponent who is playing Dripku. He's playing a very controlling kind of defensive version of the deck that tries to, clear boards multiple times and things like that. And you'll see that he does a pretty good job of doing so in this game. If there was any suggestions I have for him, is that he is not, I believe, required to take the life for that Goku. Even though I understand he wants to hit certain breakpoints, he knows that I'm being aggressive, so me hitting him is probably the better choice to make. But he also is kind of afraid that I will train in on the Unisons and then he won't get any cards. So I see it on both sides. Anyhow, comes back to me, and well, not yet. He came in with the Vegeta, now it comes back to me. And I charge. I need to make sure that I could get around Prideful Transformation. So I start making my attacks towards his Unison, which is a 4K. I swing with Leader. The Leader generates a token, and then the token swings. Now it's at 1, so now I could go for the Demagra play. But because of the situation, as far as cards in my hand and various other things, I decided to go with a more defensive setup. So I make the Poutine so I could swing into his Unison, and I make the blocker Gravy so that I could have energy up on my turn to prevent the just being overran. Swing 10, clear off his Unison. Now I have my blocker up. So on this turn, he would normally just go into the Gohan. In fact, he starts to play it and realize that he does not actually have a Unison. So I let him take the playback, and he goes in with his Leader to top 5 search to get a guy. So he goes at me, I block, he top 5s, he gets the Unison, I get my energy back, and now he gets to tick up and go into the Gohan and clear the board. Now, because of that, and the fact he's at 4, he gets to awaken and have an energy up, which is something that he really cherishes at this point. And then he gets to draw a card off the Unison because he doesn't want to put me to 3 and have the opportunity to awaken. So at this point, I have two choices. I could either go with the Unison, which I'm doing right now, or I could have used the Demagra that I charged. Both have its merits, but I went with the Unison because it's an additional attacker and I could generate similar kinds of aggression without having to do all that. But yellow is dangerous. Yellow will have cards like this one right here that's coming up, the power of the Super Saiyan, to tap my Unison and draw a card, so that is no longer a problem. And then he combos 5, I believe, to prevent himself from getting hit. Now, not too much going on here. There's some swapping and whatnot. I just want to talk about the Dripku leader, as they call him, the Yard Rat Goku. I believe I understand why they did the things they did to this leader to prevent it from being like overpowered, but I believe that they could have just changed one thing and it would have made this leader very top tier and would have incentivized a very different way of play. And all they had to do, you didn't even have to change cards in the archetype other than shifting one word off them or one ability off them. The leader should have said on the front and the back, Yellow Unisons have Empower Yellow 2. That's all he had to do. That would have been a situation then where you no longer had to have Empower Yellow 2 on all those little guys. because he would have just gave him to a ball. Then it would have opened him up to be able to play some really busted unisons that already exist in yellow, giving it additional 2 markers when you cycle through them so that they could get abilities that they wouldn't normally have right off the bat. Like imagine being able to play the 3 drops trunk unison, gain markers -2 and clear their board, and then still have dual attacking going on. Or the ability to just pay for, make Metrogabura take their guy right off the rip, and still have Metrogabura up to be able to block and tap cards. These are the things we're talking about. That would have allowed a lot of very powerful things to happen, and would have made the deck feel very unique because you wouldn't be enticed to shoehorn a bunch of yellow good stuff into the deck. So anyway, right now he's trying to aggress me with the unison after using his ultimate ability, and then he realizes that he can't kill me this turn, so he goes with a leader swing to the unison. This allows him to then swap out the Gohan, I believe, with the Vegeta. Actually, no, he decides to make the Vegeta for 2. A reason being because he wanted to have the Vegeta be coming at 3 to KO a card, and then he ticked up to 4 to swing for 15 to put a little bit of pressure on. I took and comboed out of it. I could have used a token, but the tokens are very valuable in this deck, so you don't want to necessarily throw them away all willy-nilly. So it comes back to me. I charge, and I try to go in a little bit on this turn. Again, yellow is yellow. So he is, right now, he's not thinking about negating because he forgot that this thing becomes a 25k. So he has to combo out of it. But on the follow-up attack, he does the Flying Nimbus, which means I get only 1 more battle card attack. That's very powerful floodgate. I know that we have like Forbidden Power and stuff now, but if you don't have blockers, Forbidden Power is kind of meh. Even though you're pitching a card from your hand for Nimbus. So here we go. We have Towa. We're gonna pitch with the Towa leader to make 2 tokens in rest mode. Only have die left, so forgive us for that. He goes for that. I decide to pay an energy for the Super Command Mid so that he can't tap the Poutine and KO it. And, I'm just going to draw a card off the Towa's auto. I'm going to then sack a token to draw a card for the Unison ability, and then I'm going to swing 20, in which case he Spirit Boosts once and gets out of it. So then it passes back to him. And, there's some debate that has to go on there after I took up my unison by putting a copy of it underneath itself. And I believe what he does is he ticks up. Well, let's see what he does, actually. Yeah, I believe he makes like another Gohan, right? No, he makes the Big Goku. All right, so this is something that if you're playing yellow and heavy on unisons, you should definitely be playing the Dragon Fist. But that's also the reason why I play Petrification. So cards like this, cards like the Cell, cards like the Goku from U7 and things like that have deflect in all kinds of ways of dealing with situations. Petrification basically shuts those cards down. Yeah, that's all there really is to it. So now he has to make a decision. I believe he decides to pass back. Yeah, he decides to pass back. So what I did was I blocked, instead of blocking with the token, I blocked with the Poutine so I could sack the token and draw a card because I knew he wouldn't have any real follow-up plays. And this is a turn I go in for game. It's a little later than normal, but that's simply because of the floodgates that yellow has at its disposal. So, let's see, right now I pitch, make the tokens, I swing 25. He uses the Goku. I take the life for the Super Kamehameha because I wanted every single energy I could get. Still negates the attack, but I get to sack the 2 tokens and draw a card. It's 25k double striker. Then I go in again for 25k. At this point, cards in his hand is kind of an issue. He sacks 2 counters to bring him up to 25. He draws a card, and then he combos a super combo. He probably could have got away with a 5k, but the thing is, this deck doesn't really do 5ks well, at least the way he has it built. And now, swing with leader, I go super combo plus another card to go to 30. He has super combo, and then powered as a black Kamehameha to draw a card. And then he gets a Poutine to try to stifle any follow-up action. So I know I need to deal with the Poutine, so I play my own Poutine and get myself a promo TP poop. Though that's a TP Poutine, the winter stamp. I tick up, I do my swap. I put that Poutine back, and he's not responding, so I swap into the barrier Poutine, which then fizzles his Poutine and allows me to make another threat. That other threat is a salsa, which I go in. The reason for that is so I could get additional cards. I believe I grab up another Poutine. This one's the one that makes the vanilla because the token is out there. I sack the token, draw a card, restand. That's off of the Poutine. So he combos out of that. I then swing 15 again. I hit him with the Crimson Hero Strike, which got rid of the Goku and put it up to 25. Then lastly, I combo up on the Unison to win the game. And I'll catch you again next time.